Hi Bear Cubs. Today I'm going to read to you a book called The Bossy R, and we are going to learn about why the letter R is so bossy. Long ago, before our grandmothers were even born, there were 5 brothers who lived up north on a corn farm. They did not live near anyone and were far from town. Every Thursday they rode their horses in town to go to the store and market. They would get their supplies for the week, and that was the only time they got to see other people. One morning, after a breakfast of porridge and orange juice, they could see dark, swirling clouds forming off the distance. They knew a bad storm was coming. They decided to work as hard and as fast as they could to get as much of their corn harvested so the storm would not damage their crop. The brothers worked harder than they ever worked. They did not even eat lunch. Finally, the storm was upon them. They put the horses and rooster in the barn, got their dog, and ran to the house for cover. That night at dinner, they were exhausted. They were hungry and they were thirsty. They were so tired they could hardly lift a finger, much less lift a fork to their mouths. The cornbread and pork chops were burned, so dinner was not as good as usual. The only thing they thought tasted good was their dessert, some s'mores. Sounds yummy. The s'mores, not the pork. Everybody was quiet. You could only hear the sounds of the storm. The lightning was bright, the thunder was loud, and the rain was pouring down. The wind was banging the shutters and porch swings against the house. All of a sudden, there was a knock at the door. Startled, the brothers all sat up and looked at each other. The dog began to bark and growl. They never got visitors. Even on a beautiful day, they never got visitors. Who would be out in this kind of weather? And why were they knocking on their door? They were all nervous. Nobody wanted to answer it. Finally, they decided to answer the door together. One brother even carried his fork, just in case. The 5 brothers slowly opened the door. Now, did you notice that all these brothers were vowels? A, E, I, O, and U. Creak! They were not prepared for what was before them. In front of them stood the biggest, bossiest, ugliest, hairiest, and smelliest Bossy R they'd ever seen. Vowels A and O were so frightened they darted out of the back door into the backyard, through the small vegetable garden, and down the path to the barn. Vowels E, I, and U just stood there. They were frozen with surprise. The Bossy R raised his arms over his brother's vowels and said, "From this day forward, you are all controlled vowels. When you come before me in a word, you will make only my sound, the sound of a dog's growl, for E-R, I-R, and O-R. Then the Bossy R went to search for the other 2 vowel brothers. He went out the back door into the backyard, through the small vegetable garden, and down the path to the barn. He entered, but the only things he saw were the horses and a rooster. Just as he turned to leave, a piece of hay floated down from the hayloft. He knew then he had found the other brothers. Bossy R climbed slowly up the ladder. He reached the top and looked around. Over in the dark corner were 2 lumps under the hay. He dusted the hay away from the first lump, and there he was, the vowel A. The Bossy R raised his hands over the vowel and said, "You thought you escaped me, but you didn't. From this day forward, you will be an R-controlled vowel. When you come before me in a word, you will say the greeting of a pirate. Arr!" He then moved over to the second lump. He dusted the hay away, and underneath was the last vowel brother, the O. The Bossy R raised his hands over the vowel and said, "You thought you escaped, but you didn't. From this day forward, you will be an R-controlled vowel. When you come before me in a word, You will make the sound of what the pirate uses to row his boat. Or. The Vowel Brothers still carry on happily to this day. At least one of them is in every syllable of every word in the English language. Even though the Bossy R is still bossy, they ended up becoming good friends. They work together in many ways. They work together in many words we say, read and write every day. But ever since that day, long ago, when they are with the Bossy R in a word, we call them R-controlled vowels. So it's R, and or. E-R-I-R, U-R, A-R, and O-R. And that is the story of how the R-controlled vowels came to be. The end. Okay, so I know I've already went over this in one of the videos, but I just want to go over the motions of them. So AR says R, pirate phonogram, and ER says the in her, and you're pushing the hair up like a girl. IR says the in first. OR says the or in snore. And UR says the in nurse, and you're pretending to give yourself a shot. All right, that's the story of the Bossy R, and you have worksheets to go along with that this week. I hope you guys all have a great week. Love you guys. Bye.